Hey guys, I'm just going to cut to the chase here and say welcome to Rugley. This is actually an idea that I just thought about like last night and threw this together, and I want to develop this into basically a community based database of dApps. But I don't want to just there's like Moonarch and others out there that just like send links to miners and junk like that and show that hey they've got a contract balance and crap like that. But and also people get audits, and all the audits are is a code audit. I mean, they show what vulnerabilities there might be, but they don't show like who the dev is, have they been involved in other things, what's happened to the past dApps that they've built, are they doxed, how transparent are they, how is the dev in communicating with users, just things like that people want to know, but it's not usually found anywhere. You have to kind of go digging for stuff. So I want to make like a database of this stuff. I'm not just in this to make money. If this thing grows, I might throw an ad or two on here, and maybe even just like a referral link or two to things that are actually like super highly rated. But I'm not going to just throw Google ads all over the place and just make it into something like that. I mean, it's got to pay for itself. I mean, something like this takes time and a lot of effort to do, but it's not just the goal of making money that's behind this. So as you can see, I started building this. I'm not done whatsoever, but let me explain what's going to happen. I created a Telegram group, and I'll create like a template in there or something. And if you've got information, if you know of a dApp and you know the dev or something, you can go in there. It's kind of like Moonarch. You basically submit what you want added, provide information, and I can add it to the site. I really want this to be kind of a authoritative place where people can go and just get more information on what's happened in the past with these developers. Sometimes you get a new one, then they're super transparent. Like right now, we've got Frost Flakes right here, and I created like a percentage bar, like info, reliability. Everything I've gotten from them is very reliable because it's straight from the dev, and he's very transparent. Obviously, you can see that, and everything's just out there. Another one is like stable fund. We all know who the dev is. Like that's not in question. We know other dApps that they've built. We know the owner dev's name. We know all that stuff, and we can see. But this is like transparency of the current dApp. Stable fund. They have a link to their contract, but they don't have they don't show what's happening with the funds that they're taking out, and things like that. Bake cats, we can see what's happened in the past. I put info reliability because yes, we know that things are, they're obviously doing a slow rug. There's also rumors that they're taking out tokens out of people's wallets, but so far those are just rumors. It's all just kind of really shady right now, and we don't know really what they're doing. I don't know anybody personally who has had tokens removed from their wallet. So yes, the info about them changing things and disabling buttons on the front end is completely accurate, but the other rumors are not, so it's not that reliable yet on some of that information. Obviously, transparency, we can see the contract, we can see what's going on, but we don't, the dev has kind of just disappeared, so, and not saying a word. We know their name. Are they docs? No, we have no idea who this guy is. We don't know if that's his real name in the real world. No idea. Now I've heard that he built other dApps before, and they've had problems in the past. I'm pretty sure it was a rug, but I can change this. But this is what I've heard since yesterday. So, but these are all things that would be nice to know before you get into something. And like I said, I'm going to add a few more fields to this, and I'm also going to create like an info thing where you click on it and it pulls up a modal that talks, just gives a little bit of history about the dev or past applications they've built, things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm working on, guys. I'm of course working on my dApp. That's kind of my main priority. Uh, you know, these things where you're getting money or funds from an outside source, you have to do a lot of testing, because if once you build it, it's hard to like change course all of a sudden. So I know everybody's been patiently waiting and like want this thing released like today. So do I, but I'm not just going to release something that is a total failure. I don't want to do that. So yeah, please just be patient. If it's another week or another month, I'm going to make sure that this thing is, sustainable in a bull or bear market. And, you don't have to worry about, this thing isn't making money or whatever. You promised 2%, but I'm only getting like a tenth of a percent or something like that. I want to make sure that it's going to do what it's advertised to do, and I'm not going to rush it out there just to appease people. But just realize that this project, the Rugley project, will take a little bit of time, because I have to, finish building it out, but also filling in all the data. I don't know, I'm thinking of, maybe even reaching out to the community if there's somebody that wants to help with that. I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to run that. But anyway, guys, that is Rugley. I'm just trying to get out there and kind of change how DeFi is working. We're in the Wild West of investments. And another thing I want to address, I get people saying, hey, well, we should like write a letter and send this to, authorities or whatever. But you have to realize, guys, anybody from any country can make these dApps, and sending something to the Fed in the US isn't necessarily going to do a thing. It's yeah, this is like all over the place. There's no like somebody that you can contact that's like going to do anything about it. DeFi is built on the blockchain, and blockchain is made to be both transparent and anonymous. So it's like, I don't know, the amount of money and the effort that you'd have to spend in getting like charges taken against like Simon from Baked Cats would be incredibly like time consuming and expensive. And yeah, it just doesn't make sense, honestly. We have seen things in the past with lawsuits and things about people that are have scammed people before in DeFi and things like that, but it's usually in the order of millions of dollars, and very high profile. These smaller ones, I'm sorry, but there's not a lot you can really do about it. Not a lot that would actually make financial sense, or justify the effort and what you'd have to do something like that. Yeah, this is not just the financial world, where there's hedge funds and stuff like that, and there's huge sets of regulation around it. That doesn't exist here. So I've seen so many people say, hey, we should notify the feds or the authorities or whatever. It's not going to do anything. I mean, you notify the authorities, they'll probably just say, well, then get out of DeFi and don't be in that stuff. So that's what I'm kind of trying to fight here, guys. I really want to be transparent about who these people are, and if they really want to succeed and this becomes like an authoritative source for information, something like this would be actually more valuable than an audit. An audit is good because it shows you the code and what vulnerabilities there are, but it doesn't show you what the dev's going to do. It doesn't show you what kind of person the dev is, or the owners, or how they're going to run things. And I'm just trying to provide just another glimpse into these devs and what they're doing in the space. There's a lot of other indexes out there, but they're just like providing a list of dApps. Honestly, Moonarch has a little tiny button that a little icon's red that shows that something rugged, or it's got a little problem or something, but it doesn't show information about these devs and their dApps. Anyway, guys, yeah, that is Rugley. Tell me what you think. tell me what you would like to see in this. Like it says, to jump into our Telegram group and share information. So I created a group just for this. And yeah, I just want to try to create a whole index here of information that we can kind of rely on, and people can say, hey, is this a good investment, and not just look at a code audit, but see, hey, who is the dev, the information we have on them, are they reliable, are they transparent with their communities, are they have their past dApps, have they ever rugged before, have they done anything shady. One thing I do want to say is on this dApp status, every time, and this is a word that I feel is overused in DeFi a lot, and not lately, obviously, with bait cats. That's obviously they're trying to rug. I don't think they know how to, but the past dApp status, every time something goes to zero, everybody yells rug, and they don't understand that ROI dApps were so famous for this. Like every day it was rug this, rug that. And they're basically a Ponzi scheme where people put in money and there's no outside investment coming in. That's very transparent, exactly what it's going to do. And that, everybody that put in gets their money plus some out, and then some people are left behind. A rug pull is when the owner takes the balance for themselves and walks away and just leaves everybody hanging. When a dApp runs its course and does exactly what it's supposed to do and things, that's not really rug. I mean, it's you can say a project failed, but it's not necessarily a rug. There's a difference between the two. There are failed businesses in the real world, and there are failed dApps in DeFi, and just because it failed doesn't mean it's a rug. And that's the risk we take being in DeFi, is we are exposed to very high risk investments, and we are putting some of our money into these ideas that people think up, and it's not a guarantee for return. So if you lose your money in a high risk investment, it doesn't mean the high risk investment scammed you. It means the idea behind it and the logic behind it did not work out and did not do what they wanted it to do. So that's different than a rug, where the owner basically takes the money and runs, and the app doesn't fail, it just is rugged. So there's two different things that happen there. I know there's a lot of emotion involved when things do happen, and people want to yell scam or rug, or I think a lot of people want to justify their investing in something because it did fail, but that's just what people do. They invest in high risk things. A lot of those high risk things do fail, or they end up going to zero, but it doesn't mean the dev rugged. So for instance, like this one, Stable Fund, I put Ray, he was a developer of Stable One, and they had a code problem, and it doesn't mean that they rugged everybody. They tried to provide refunds for people, but they had some code problems. It doesn't mean that they actually rugged. That's why I put a mixed status, because they have, they launched a token, they launched NFTs, they launched, all these ROI dApps. They just kind of ran their course. I think even their token is still going today. So it doesn't mean it's not rug or not. Past projects can fail, and then they launch a new project that improves upon that or something else. So I just want to clarify that. So when you see mixed or failed or rug, there's a variation of those. And of course NA is just not applicable because they haven't had a past dApp before. So anyway, guys, that's Rugley. I just want to clarify, kind of that status, and also introduce you guys to this thing. Hopefully we can get some other YouTubers on board, and kind of DeFi in general, looking to populate kind of this database of dApps and devs and things like that, so we don't yeah, I just view this kind of information way more valuable than an audit. I thought about, hey, should I start my own audit company? And it's like, yeah, you're still just auditing code, but you don't know who the dev is. So just because they front the money for an audit doesn't mean they're not just gonna rip people off. And audits are, I don't know. I'd rather see like a financial audit after the fact to see what they're doing with the money, to see what's actually happening behind the scenes, rather than a code audit. You can pay some dude on Fiverr $100 to create you a code certification or whatever that you did and run an audit on your site, so it's not a big deal. But just knowing who's behind it is a lot more valuable. Anyway, guys, like I said, tell me what you think about Rugley. I'm just trying to get this out there. If you are, a YouTuber as well, feel free to use this. I'm going to be populating this as time goes on. And like I said, I might ask for some help in keeping this updated. Anyway, guys, go ahead and like the video if you like it. Hit subscribe if you want to subscribe. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just trying to provide a better DeFi world. Anyway, go ahead and if you're not subscribed, you know where that big red button is. Hit the bell notification. I'm doing a giveaway video later today, so be aware of that. And we will catch you on the next one.